Hi everyone. How are you all doing? Let's get this flipped around. There we are. Hi. How's everyone today? Welcome. Welcome. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and I hope you are having an amazing day. It has been an interesting week so far. We were not here yesterday. I think we forgot to tell everyone we wouldn't be here yesterday, but um, I realized it at about 2 in the morning when I was going to sleep or trying to go to sleep. And I realized that we had never posted that we wouldn't be live. So sorry about that, but everyone figured it out. It was Labor Day. We took the day off as far as going live, but I did a lot of shipping yesterday. And during the live, what would have normally been the live time is when I was up at the cottage doing a bunch of shipping. And Andrew was actually up there with me. He tried to go up to finish up some projects that didn't require him to move around too much, things that he could do at his jeweler's bench. So he was trying to finish up a few things there, and he got a few things done, which was really good. But he was starting to feel a little bit better today, and there's been a lot going on, so we'll get into that too. But he was going to try and do the live for me today because I was working on some other things, which we'll talk about. But he ended up getting a really bad headache. So he is down trying to work on a little bit of polymer clay stuff. I think he's working on down there now. We've been trying to get him to take it easy, but there's only so when you're not feeling great, but you still just can't sit still for so long, right? And I think he's at that stage right now where it's driving him a little batty to just kind of rest. So he's trying to do things that he can do where he doesn't have to move too much. He can kind of sit at the dining room table, prop his leg up, and kind of do some polymer clay work. I think that's what he's working on right now. But we've had a very interesting day. It started last night. Let me see who's here first. Hello, Danette. Thank you for joining us. Kimberly's here. Hello, Kimberly from My Beaded Bliss. Thank you for joining us. Norma is here. Hello, Norma. Susie is here. Hello, Susie. Marianne says, shouldn't labor on Labor Day whenever possible. That's, what we kind of figured. We did start an online sale, though. So as many of you know, we are trying to save up to go to Italy. And every time we save a little bit, it seems like something happens. And something definitely happened today. So we are holding an online sale again to try to raise money. I know we've done this a few times where we said that this is what we're trying to do, or it's been for Andrew's trips here. But some of, we've said a few times that we're trying to save for Italy, and we are still trying to do that. It just seems like something happens every time. Yesterday, when we were up at the cottage, we started coming back. We got in the car to come back home, and the van almost didn't start. Turned the key and it went and then finally started, which was not a good sign. So we were able to get home. We did not lose lights and power to the car while we were driving home. So thankfully, we kind of had an idea that it was not our alternator. We weren't 100% sure, but we had a feeling that it might be our battery. And so I went out. Our check oil light has been coming on because we have to get our oil changed. And we put in very high mileage oil because Andrew often drives long distances and we run our van pretty hard. So we put in high mileage oil, and technically when the check oil light comes on, we should be able to get through two. We should be able to get to two check. We can reset the check oil light and get to a second one before we technically have to change the oil. But And I don't think we've done that already, but we generally like to change it every 3,000 to 4,000 miles, even though it's rated for 5 to 6 at least. So anyway, that light came on and we're like, wonder if that's causing any issues, if something's going on. And then I had read before in forums that we have a Grand Caravan and apparently they're known for overheating. So we're like, we got to check the fluids and make sure that that's okay. So we brought it home last night. It was too dark to check any of that, but I started it. I shut it off and I started it again and it started right back up. So usually if your lights are not failing by the time we would have driven home, that means the alternator is still working. And if your car starts right back up, it often means the alternator worked enough to charge the battery enough that it did a quick start. So that kind of ruled out the starter and the alternator, but you don't rule anything out until it's looked at. Thankfully, my dad was a mechanic. And so I came out today and checked the oil, and the oil levels are fine. So I know we weren't losing oil. The coolant levels were at their minimums, but the radiator had oil or had coolant in it, and it was in the okay zone. So we just needed to top that off, and we did that too. But my mom and dad, then I started talking with them a little bit, and they came down because our jumper box was not charged, which is a good thing. We found out that our jumper box had needs to be charged. So we're charging that now, but they came down with jumper cables, and my dad was a mechanic before, so he came down to look at it and kind of rule out officially certain things. And so what my dad, we jumped it, it worked. It started right up. And then what he told me is if you kind of, rev it up a little bit, and then you take one of the battery terminals off of the battery while it's running, if it stays running, your alternator's working. If it doesn't stay running, it could be your alternator having a problem. So we did that and it stayed running. So we're thinking it's just the battery. A battery from the dealership is a lot of money. So we're going to not go that route. We can get a regular battery from like Walmart for less than the dealership. But also we have some places around here that they do good conditioned used batteries. So when there's like a wreck or an auto accident and these things are pulled, you can get a used battery, which is in good shape, for like $45. So we're going to start with that, and we're going to try to make that work out. And kind of my mom and dad are going to go talk with them tomorrow for us because they know them, and see if they've got a battery in stock. Now, if they don't, we're going to have to start spending more money on a battery. And hopefully it is just the battery that is the issue. And hopefully that makes everything work again and we'll be okay. But thank goodness we did not get stranded last night at the cottage. Because, we could have called somebody to come and get us, but we would have had to call somebody pretty late at night to come get us. Because it almost didn't start last night, but thankfully it did, and we were able to get home. And then this morning when I checked all the fluids and then tried to start it, that's when it officially really would not start. Kimberly says, don't forget to hit the like. Hit the thumbs up, everybody. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the like. Hit the love. Share the love, everybody. Make sure you share this with your friends. Let them know we exist as a little bead business. Hello, Diane. Thanks for joining us. Sandra has joined in. Hello, Sandra. Thank you all for hanging out. Teresa is here. Hello, Teresa. Thank you for joining us. We're happy to have everybody here today. Let's see, everybody's saying hi to everybody. Andrew says, there's always something. So thankful we have support. Yes, we have a lot of support, and we're super thankful for that. So we're going to try and work on the lower end of the pricing spectrum for all of this, and hopefully that works. our thing is always, Andrew often goes long distances, so we're making sure that the jumper box is charged. We will probably put that in the van for a while. It usually rides around in our other car, but we had just replaced the battery in that about a year or two ago, which was not an inexpensive thing. But we'll put the jumper box in. He doesn't have any big trips, I don't think, for a little while, so we'll be able to ride it around close to home and kind of keep an eye on it and make sure that whatever battery we do get, if we do go with the slightly used battery route, that it'll be okay. Sandra says, I went to Advanced Auto and they put it in for me so much cheaper. It was around $100. The Advanced Auto, because I was looking at that, I think our battery for our car starts at around $200, which is not something we want to spend if we can spend 40 or 45, because 200, that's a lot for us. So we are going to start with the lower end of things and see what we can hopefully do. Let's see here. Everybody's saying hi. Everybody's sharing. Good. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Andrew says, I have to go to Pittsburgh on Thursday to pick up metal. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have, I will probably try to take the van to my pottery class. That'll get me a little trip to make sure all is well with it, and that'll give us some time to drive it around once we get the new battery in it tomorrow. And then Andrew will be going to Pittsburgh on Thursday. We'll see if I have to go with them or what we might do, or take, I don't know, we'll see. Let's see here. Sandra says, ouch, 200, that's a lot for sure. Yeah, I mean, the batteries last a long time, thankfully, but that's just an expense we did not plan for. And as a small business, as you know, these unplanned things, that it's not easy. It's not easy. So all this to say, we do have a sale going on in the online store if you'd like to support us that way. You get 25% off using discount code Italy. And we're calling it our Pauseport sale. I don't know if you saw that, but we used AI to make lots and lots of fun graphics using all of our fur babies, pretending they were in Italy. And we're having a Pauseport sale. So I had a lot of fun making the graphics. That's kind of what I was doing. Instead of doing the live yesterday, I was doing that and getting ready for the sale, and then also doing a lot of packing and shipping. And I sent out a bunch of stuff today, dropped off at the post office, and I unfortunately did not, with everything going on, I did not get up to the cottage as much as I wanted to today. We've been running around trying to solve this issue and make sure that, figuring out what we would have to do. So tomorrow I will be going up to there, hopefully nice and bright and early, and working on more packages. I got a lot of things sorted into boxes, and it's just a matter now of checking off the, invoices and making sure everything matches up, and then sealing up boxes and sending them out to y'all. So I have a lot of stuff coming out to a lot of you. And also trying to keep up with anybody who purchases from the online sale as well, and try to keep that caught up so that I don't get behind on that. Andrew says, and then Touchstone Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh my goodness, that's this weekend. Holy moly. I forgot that was this weekend. The Spark retreat. I don't know why I was thinking that was next weekend. So yeah, we've got a lot of, hopefully you start to feel better too, so that you're not trying to be on your feet too much. Marion says, fingers crossed that it works out. Thank you. Susie says, you can always call me. Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah, we were, it kind of, we were kind of thinking about that today. We're like, yeah, we're just very lucky that we were able to get home last night. I know you're up pretty late though, but yeah, we're sometimes we're out very late. We weren't out very, very late because his foot was really starting to hurt him again. So we didn't stay at the cottage too late. But sometimes we're up there very late. And if something like this would happen, we would be spending the night probably at the cottage in some cases. Um, uh, Andrew says, if we leave early enough, maybe we can get a treat in Pittsburgh to make it more fun. That would be nice. That would be nice. Sanders says, it's painful when it's a surprise. It's different when you're expecting it. Yes. Still not easy, right? Sanders says, I love the graphics. I want to steal your idea. Yeah, that's what we were trying to. We were trying to think of sale ideas, and I'm kind of very basic. I'm like, oh, we'll just do an Italy sale, and Andrew's like, no, we got to do something else. So then he was starting to talk about doing a passport sale, and so I started using. I've never used AI to make graphics before. This is the very first time I've ever done that. Andrew used it when it first came out. He was using AI, but I used a few different AI programs, and some of them I really didn't like. This was Google's AI to make these, and they were pretty cute. And I was surprised how good it kind of worked for what we wanted. There was some, there were some hiccups and there were some things it didn't understand, but we were able to get some fun graphics. So this is the Passport sale, 25% off with discount code Italy off everything in the online store. We appreciate all the sales because, like I said, while we're hoping that it's just the battery and that we're able to get an inexpensive one, this is like the first step in diagnosing. So hopefully it's the last step too, but we'll see, right? We'll see. So cute, says Marianne. Andrew says, we put in about 4 hours and then my foot started to hurt too much. Yeah. We were up there for a while. And then it just got to the point where he was, even though he wasn't on his feet too much, it's just the fact of just not having it up, the fact that it was nighttime. It always gets worse at night. I don't know why, what it is with gout or with night, but it's like it's like it knows it's nighttime because it always flares up and gets really red and really swollen out of nowhere at night. So it was starting to do that, and we're just like, let's go home. And thankfully, the car started. Andrew says the van has been super reliable. Yes, I do have to say, our van has been incredibly reliable. Both of our cars are incredibly reliable vehicles, and I can't say enough good things about them. We're very fortunate. We have never, knock on wood, neither of our cars have ever stranded us anywhere. They've always gotten us to a safe space, right? So even last night, it didn't want to start. It still started, and it got us home. It may not have started today, but it got us home. And I had booked an oil change for tomorrow. So I had to cancel that because the car won't start. And thankfully, again, once I was talking about that, my dad's like, well, if we get some oil and a filter, I can do the oil change for you. So we should hopefully save some money on the oil change as well, having my dad help us with that too. So all is good. We have lots of amazing support around us, and we're very thankful for all of that. Hello, Harry. Thanks for joining in. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you here, Michelle. So that's what has been going on. It's been a busy weekend. Friday I was at the store. I came home and we did the 20% sale off of some check glass, and we're going to continue that today, y'all. With everything going on, I have with everything going on, I have not been able to plan for this live as much as I normally would want to, but knowing that I still had things here from the physical store, and y'all seem to like the check glass sale we had on Friday, I figured that's going to give me a little bit of a break, and we're going to continue with that today. So we're going to do 30 to 40 lots today of some check glass from the physical store. We're going to continue the 20% sale on that. I can't do 25. That's because this is not stuff in the online store, but I'm going to do 20% off sale today to match the sale on Friday. That also means that if you missed the show on Friday, we had said that we're only taking that sale through the weekend. But if you did miss our live sale on Friday, if you want to go back and rewatch that, there are still a lot of good things left, and you can still request them at 20% off. I will still honor the 20% deal from Friday on that, as long as you get it in here soon. And we will also do the 20% sale here, because I did not take these things back up to the shop on Sunday. Thankfully, I ran out the door without them. I thought about them halfway there and was like, I'm heading up to the shop. So thankfully I left them here, because that worked out for today. It's like, all these things that happen that are just like, it's all meant, we're taken care of. It's all meant to happen this way. So I'm going to do that. So we will honor the 20% off sale on Friday if there's anything you want to go back and look at. We're going to give you 20% off the prices today on the check glass, and anything else I offer you today, we'll do that. And this is all stuff from the physical store. Most of it is not in the online store, but we are offering 25% off the online store. So discount code Italy will give you 20% off, or 25% off in the online store. And we've had a few people take advantage of that already, and we really, really appreciate it. Hopefully we can start putting some of that money aside for Italy. We have to get our flight, we have to get our hotel or where we're staying, and then the one of the biggest things for me is we have to have money to have everything survive while we're gone. So, when you're your own small business, a lot of people don't always think about this, because you might work for somebody else and, you get paid vacation and all that. When we go, not only do we pay for our trips, but we have to figure out how to sustain everything while we're gone. So we got to kind of double make the money so that while we're gone, things can continue and we can continue to pay bills. So, that's one of those things as a small business that is a little bit different sometimes. We don't have the paid vacation time, so when we take time off, we got to also cover that time off. So that's what we're working toward, trying to get all that together. And we have to get everything together by November, because we're leaving. The plan is to leave in November. We're very thankful for all the support we've gotten so far. And every little bit that we can squirrel away is going to be squirreled away to help get us there and sustain us while we are there, so that I can actually go with Andrew, because this whole thing is not for me. Technically, Andrew is going because he won a scholarship from cohorts.art, and that scholarship gave him a year-long mentorship with Jennifer Wells, and he has been doing that over Zoom. She happens to live in Italy. Part of the idea of the scholarship is at the end of the year, or at some point in the year, you go and hang out for a week and do a week-long workshop with your mentor. Most mentors for people are here in the US. Ours happens to be, or his happens to be, in Italy. So that part of the trip, the travel, the stay is not covered. Only the workshop time is covered. So it is up to us to get him there. And that's kind of the most important thing. And then because this trip falls exactly over our anniversary on November 12th, 11/12/07 is our anniversary date. So November 12th, he would be away, and that is our anniversary. The week before that is when we actually got married. So our marriage anniversary is about a week before our actual meeting anniversary. So it's like 2 weeks in a row he's going to be kind of gone, and both of those weeks are anniversaries for us. Um, so we thought, why not try and make it a honeymoon, because we never got one, because we got married during the pandemic, and it was pretty much impossible to go places. And so we are trying to turn this into a honeymoon for us, where he will be there for a week. I will hang out while he's doing his workshop thing, and then we will have like another week for us just to kind of do things and travel around, and maybe get on a train every once in a while and go to other parts of Italy and do things like that. So that's what we are trying to do. So it is not one of those things like, this is not something we're just really pushing for because on a whim we decided we're going to Italy. It's kind of very important that Andrew goes to fulfill this part of the scholarship that he's agreed to, and we're just hoping that I can go too, and we'll be okay to do all that. Let's see. Danette says, "I hope it's just the battery." Me too, Danette. Me too. Everybody's saying hi. More saying hi. Michelle says, "My PT was early, so I get to watch today." Nice. Marianne's going to say, "Good night now. Bargain hunters have begun, maybe?" Bargain hunters have. Well, good night, Marianne. Thank you for joining us. Andrew says, "We taught on Saturday." Yes, we did. Hello, Angela. Thank you for joining us. Norma says, "Hopefully lodging will be cheaper that time of the year in the off season." Hopefully. Angela says, "November is coming soon." Yes, don't remind me, Angela. We 100% know it's coming very soon. So are unfortunately some of the issues we've been having. So hopefully we can get everything together. Susie is here. Hello, Susie. Thank you for joining us. Let's see here. Andrew says, "Actually, the mentors are all over the world." Oh, okay. I thought they were mostly in the US, so I'm wrong on that. But yeah, so I talked about Friday. Saturday we taught at Contemporary Craft, and we had a full class, almost a full class, really good class, really good students. I think everyone had a good time. Everyone learned a lot. Andrew was able to teach, even with his gout issues. He mostly sat. We explained to everyone what was going on, and we formed the desks in kind of a U shape so that he didn't have to go very far. If he had to roll himself around, we put him on a little rolly chair, and we had a chair for him to put his foot up on, and he was able to teach, and I was able to help him TA, and it was really fun. We had a good time. I think everyone learned a lot. Like I said, everyone got a lot of projects done. We were amazed at the quantity of things people were able to make. So I think that was a really good time. By the end of it, Andrew was in a lot of pain by the end, but he made it through. And I don't think anybody would have known that he was in as much pain as he was through a lot of it. So he put on the brave face and did a really good job. And we got home, and he was definitely resting for the rest of the night. And then Sunday, I went to the shop. I had a few of our very young friends come into the shop, and we made some bracelets together. And a few people who were kind of coming in to just see what we were about. We had a few people stop in to see what we were about. So hopefully that will mean something and turn into some business or some classes down the line. But I got a lot of pre-packing and wrapping done, which helped me yesterday when I was putting things in boxes and starting to sort out everyone's orders and pre-pack and get the boxes filled up and organized. So lots of good progress this weekend. That extra day really helped. We kind of lost a day today, more than I wanted to, but sometimes these things happen and we just have to roll with the punches, right? That's just the way it has to be some days. Susan is with us. Hello, Susan. Let's see here. Oops. Did it just jump? No, we're good. We're good. Everybody's saying hi. Michelle says November is coming way too fast. Hubby's supposed to be back at work in November and nowhere close to being there. Oh boy. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. Hello, Suzanne. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so it has been quite the day between the car and thankfully, like I said, I did a delivery for someone today. So we delivered a package to somebody locally. So I did a delivery order today. I did some grocery shopping today. Thankfully, the other car is running, so I was able to do some things. We're trying to keep Andrew away from too many carbs. So I got some kind of root vegetables. Even though I know they have some carbs, it's not quite the same as like loading up on breads and pastas. So I got some potatoes, got some carrots. I've got some parsnips. Oh, I love parsnips so much. I've got some peppers. And what else did I get? I think that's it. Potatoes, parsnips, peppers, onions, and carrots. I'm going to make some roasted root vegetables. At least that's the idea. So I'm going to try not to have this live be too long tonight because I still got to cut up all the vegetables and get them roasting in the oven. So we're going to roast those tonight. I guess we could roast them in the air fryer. Maybe we could air fry them, but it's just not always the same, right? I like them roasted. And then I think I got some eggs, and I think I'm going to mix the roasted root vegetables with eggs and kind of fry up some eggs, or scramble up some eggs and add it to the vegetables because I like that. I like the vegetables together with the eggs, and then I usually put ketchup on all of mine. That might be blasphemy to some of you, but I like coat all my stuff in ketchup, and then it's so good. So I think we're going to make that tonight. Suzanne says, I'm coming over. I love parsnips too. Yeah, I wish you could. We could do crafting and polymer clay. Andrew's working on polymer. We'll have some parsnips and roasted root vegetables. But yeah, that's I'm really hungry for the roasted root vegetables tonight. So I think even if it's late, that's probably still going to be the goal tonight because I just thought of that today and I was super like in my mind hit the spot. So we're going to try that, I think, tonight. Angela says, parsnips sound exotic to me. I know they kind of do, right? I never grew up with parsnips, but we started having them. Andrew started making them more. I never really had parsnips before I met Andrew all that much. My family just didn't do them. And I didn't realize how much I really like parsnips. They're kind of peppery, and I don't know, they're kind of sweet but peppery. I just love them. So I got some parsnips tonight. Avocados, Michelle says, is a great source for protein and no carbs. Yeah, I should get him some of those. I've been getting him lots of cherries. I also picked up fruit. So I got strawberries, raspberries, grapes, bananas, and cherries. And I've been making fruit salads in the evenings for us because all of those fruits have vitamin C, and they're supposed to have, some of the berries have antioxidants to help Andrew with that. Oh, I got apples too, and I got peaches, but peaches are not supposed to be great always for everybody with gout. So I put peaches in mine and he gets cherries in his. That's the way I do it. So I've been making fruit salads in the evenings for us, and yeah, trying to do good. Let's see here. Suzanne says, I get that, Andrew. I retired from doing Vigil Mass on Christmas Eve because I can't take 5 hours standing. It's hard, right? The concrete, there, Andrew was saying, I don't usually wear shoes, especially when I have gout. So wearing shoes, even Crocs, was hard. I think one of the hardest parts teaching is standing on the concrete floors. One of my mentors had to retire from travel teaching because of how hard it is on the feet and back. Yeah. It's really not easy. Even I don't generally have too many issues. I don't have gout, I don't have those issues. But standing all day doing the teaching, because it was a 7-hour class, even I had to sit down at certain points. So it was really hard on Andrew. Susan says, I love roasted veggies. Parsnips are the best. Aren't they so good? Susan says, my mom put parsnips in matzo ball soup. Ooh, that'd be good. Teresa says, I love roasting parsnips and then puree it like mashed potatoes. I don't think we've done that, but that sounds delicious. Andrew says, we never ate them growing up. They're like a potato had a baby with a carrot. Yeah, with a little bit of pepper, right? I feel like they're peppery, but they're sweet. They're kind of a texture of a potato when they're cooked, but they do have the sweetness of a carrot, but they're a little bit peppery. Just so good. Potatoes have lots of carbs, to be careful. Yeah, they do. They do. So we're going to go light. That's why I got a bunch of other stuff. And really, at least those are better carbs than like I said, eating a bunch of pasta and eating high fructose corn syrup, in with all of that, which is not good for that either. Angela says, do you eat parsnip skins? We usually peel the parsnips, I believe. I usually do. I don't know if Andrew always does. I don't know when he makes his. I usually peel the parsnips, though. Susie says, my mom always sliced them lengthwise and fried them in the pan. I've never fried them. I've only ever baked them or air fried them. I've done air fried, but I've never actually fried them in the pan. Parsnips fried? I bet that is good. I bet it's very good. So yeah, that's what's been going on. We were not here yesterday. It feels weird to be here today because I feel like we missed a day, but I also feel like we're rushing it. I don't know why, but we're gonna get started because I have a lot of veggies to cut, and I don't want Andrew to feel like he's going to be cutting them down there, because he's like, I could probably cut some, and I'm like, if you can, you can, but it's hard for him to stand and do all that. It's a lot of cutting of veggies. So I'm going to try and do the live, go down there and cut some parsnips and some carrots and some potatoes and some root vegetables and get those in the oven. Because all that sounds delicious to me tonight. Teresa says, I put parsnips in vegetable soup. Ooh, that'd be good. Andrew says, usually when I have a flare-up, I eat just avocados and eggs. Yeah, he usually does. And I don't know why we're not putting him necessarily on an avocado and egg diet. We probably should. But he's starting to feel better. He got some rest today. But yeah, hopefully his flare up. We're trying to get rid of this before this weekend for sure. And he's going to be driving to Pittsburgh on Thursday unless I can go with him. So if we go early enough, I can go with him, and that'll be good. Let's see. Angela says, Angie's going to try parsnips, peeled, roasted, and mashed. Yeah, try them. They're good. They're very good. I don't know anyone who doesn't like, any of you don't like parsnips? I don't know anyone who doesn't like a parsnip. If you don't, I don't know why. I don't get it because they're delicious. I guess if you don't like that kind of stuff in general, but I don't know. Now I just realized I have no bags still. I found enough bags to pack up the stuff from last time, but I don't have bags for today. Let me see. I think I can empty some bags. I'm gonna have to be emptying a lot of bags tonight. So let me empty a few. And I meant to bring bags home last night, but I totally did not. So we're gonna empty a few, and then I'll continuously empty them as we go tonight. But just get myself ahead a little bit. Let's see. Danette says, I've never had a parsnip. Danette, you've got to try it. You've got to try it. So good. Don't wait. Get the parsnips. They're delicious roasted. Get that roasted root vegetable. So I'm just going to roast. I'm going to get my roasting pan out. I have a glass Pyrex roasting pan. I'm going to cut up the vegetables. I'm going to dump them all in there. Throw some oil on them. Throw some, what else? Pepper, salt. Sometimes I like to roast them with a little bit of balsamic too. How do y'all roast your vegetables? Give me some recipes, y'all. How do you roast your vegetables when you do roasted vegetables? Let me know, because maybe I can add something to mine. And then you just roast the heck out of them. Maybe we'll start them in the air fryer to get them going a little bit. I don't know. We'll see, because it's always late. It's always late. We're always cooking late, I feel like. Susan says, I'm going to try the roasted and mashed parsnips too with roasted garlic. Ooh, that'd be good. Michelle says, I don't know if I've tried one. I'm going to try them. Andrew says, some folks don't like them because they were considered poor people food, but I don't care. They're delicious, right? Yeah, who cares? What was poor people food some of it has turned into fancy food now, right? It's the way things work. Andrew said there should be a box of bags up there. I don't know. I went through that box. We did have that box. I went through a box of bags already, and I'm out again. I keep forgetting to bring some. I have like 3 drawers full of bags at the cottage, and other bags in addition to that, and I keep forgetting to bring them home. Angela says, Danette, I don't know if I know what it looks like. I know turnip looking. They're like a white carrot. That's what they really look like. They're like a large white carrot. That's what a parsnip looks like. Let's see. Susan says, I roast with just olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic. Yeah, that's kind of good. Suzanne says, we did a honey balsamic sauce yesterday. Ooh, with roasted vegetables? We do have honey. I've not made a honey balsamic. Oh, I bet that'd be good. I bet I wouldn't want to put ketchup on that, though, afterwards. That might replace that. That does sound really good, though. Terry says, parsnips are like white carrots. Yep. Andrew says, if you get the parsnips caramelized when you roast them, they're extra delicious. Michelle says, white carrots? I don't think I have had that. Susan says, I roasted eggplant, onions, mushrooms, and peppers this weekend to contribute to a group meal. Oh, that sounds good. I was going to get some mushrooms too, but I didn't because I was thinking that maybe they would roast. Everything doesn't roast at the same time, and even I know like even the peppers and other things don't always roast even at the same time as the carrots, like real and potatoes. Really, you should do them timed, where you do like the potatoes and parsnips and carrots first, and then you add the peppers later. We just throw everything in and just roast the heck out of them. And let's see here. Suzanne says, yes, the honey was made by my friend. Nice. Nice. Jack has joined us saying, who are you? Who are you, Jack? No. This is William at Allegory Gallery, and we sell beads. So we sell beads and gemstones and jewelry making stuff. And we're going to look at some check glass today. That's why I have the camera turned around, but I have not actually started the show yet. We've just been chit-chatting for the last 50 minutes like we normally do. We always start out with a chat session before to hang out with our friends and just kind of let everyone get to know each other. Let me edit this because it's not this weekend only anymore. Let me just, we're going to do 20% off extra the prices that I show you today. So we did that on Friday, and that was supposed to only go through the weekend, but we're going to honor that today too. So if you missed Friday's video, you can watch Friday's video, and we'll give you that 20% off still from Friday as well. Let's see here. Susan says, the mushrooms have a lot of water, but I needed to use them or lose them. I get that for sure. Jack says, very cool. Yeah, thanks for being here. We get into talking about a lot of different things at the beginning of these shows. Right now we're talking about dinner, which is going to be roasted root vegetables. So that's why we're talking about all the stuff going in the oven first. Andrew says, did you know that carrots weren't originally orange? Well, at least not commonly. They were crossed to flatter the Duke of Orange. The Duke of Orange. That Duke turned our carrots all orange. He must have really liked carrots. They're like, oh, we can do this. He's like, I love carrots. Let's make them all orange. All right, Duke, let's do it. All right. Jack says, I'm across the globe, so it's only lunchtime here, but dinner sounds good already. Yeah, it's right now we're on the Eastern time, and we are in Eastern Daylight Time, so we're at 8. We're just about 8:30 p.m. Here, and we always do our lives from 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and they usually run 2 to 3 hours long. We do 30 to 40 lots of different jewelry making supplies and materials that we sell at hopefully what you think are really good prices. And then we make dinner. That's what we do here. Sometimes we broadcast from our jewelry studio. Today I'm in our home office because we've been dealing with car issues. Yay, today. So that's what we were. That's who we are. A little bit about who we are. Michelle says, we are a beading group, and this is Allegory Gallery Live. That's right. We hang out with friends and create virtual communities. We have a shop in a city local to us, so we have a physical store too, where we hang out with people and create local communities that way. So both physical and virtual communities for creativity. And we hope everybody has fun and gets along, and we have a really good group of people. Teresa says, I grew up with purple carrots. I had not seen a purple carrot for a long time until I got older, and then had purple carrots, and I really, really like them. All right. Let's see here. What am I doing? Let me get my email up so I can let you know what things are selling and what is selling out. Okay, so this is Jack says, thanks for the info. Love to hear about it. We love having new people, so thanks for hanging out with us as you can. We appreciate that. What part of the world are you in, Jack? If it's lunchtime, that's what, 8 hours difference. So Wait a second. Which way are we going? We're going back. Where are you at? Where are you at, Jack? I'm trying to figure out where that would be. Let's see. Susan says, I got purple carrots in my CSA box this summer. That's cool. For those of you who are new, if you'd like to claim, we do ship worldwide. But with shipping now, with everything going on, Jackson, New Zealand, 16 hours ahead, not 8 behind, already on Wednesday. Oh my goodness. So you're ahead. I was like, behind, that would be like we're heading into Asia. So you're ahead, New Zealand, already on Wednesday's time. That's wild to me. That's so wild. We do ship worldwide. Shipping is messy right now, though. But if you see anything you like, we are open to trying to figure out how to get it to you. But this is what we do. We give you a lot number. We use really fancy technology. It's called a paper and a Sharpie. And we give you a lot number. So today's lot numbers, I'm going to call them WXP, just because I know I've never used that before. And WXP 1 through either 30 or 40, whatever we decide to do today. We give you a price on that, and then we tell you how many there are of that particular item. If you'd like to purchase, you take down the lot number, the WXP number in this case, put it in the subject line of an email, send that email to info@allegorygallery.com. You can either send one email per item that you'd like, or you can wait until the end and send one email for everything that you want. If you're really looking to grab things right away, you should send an email for everything you want, each individual item. It is first come, first serve. We are a small business, so we do not have a huge inventory of anything, so our quantities are limited. That's why we always say first come, first serve. And if you do send us an email, though, you are promising to take it if you get it. No take backs. You can't send an email for everything and then be like, oh, I only wanted these 2 things, really. That messes up all the works and makes everything messy. So that's the rules. That's how we do it. Let me actually set up we have a banner that tells you a lot of that information right there. We'll put down scrolling across the bottom. And here we go. Let's start with WXP 1. As we said today, 20% off the price I give you today. So we're going to start with some check glass melon beads. These melon beads were popular on Friday. These are some different colors of these. Let me get them off of the loop. So these are originally $6, and we have 2 strands of these available. So this is it. This is how it works. $6 per. It's always per strand unless we tell you differently. And we have 2 strands of these available at the $6 each. All US dollars, of course. We're in the US. And yeah, that's it. So WXP1 are these melon beads. Check glass melons. These are a white kind of semi-opalescent glass with a black inset. So they have the black on them. And these are about 8 millimeter melons, 8 to 8.5 millimeter. Let's see here. Diane says, I just sent an email with the cream cheese corn. Thank you. I will look for that. Jack says, good to know about the system. Thanks. Thank you. Susie, our friend, says, Jack, one of my friends is from New Zealand. She lives here in Ligonier. We're in Ligonier, Pennsylvania, here in the U.S. Susie's our next door neighbor. Says, but has a lot of family there. She's told me wonderful stories. Michelle says, Allegory Gallery has amazing prices. We try our best. We're a small business. We can't compete with the big box stores, but we don't try to. We try to have interesting things at good prices and treat people right. That's the whole point of these hangouts, right? Is to get to know each other and create community. Those big box stores don't tend to like to do that. So we have 2 strands of these available, WXP1. It's $6 before the extra 20%. You'll get the extra 20% off on your invoice. We invoice after the show. Jack says, Ligonier looks like a beautiful town. It is a beautiful town, I must say. We're very lucky to have a pretty vibrant small business community here in Ligonier. We had our shop here in Ligonier for 13 years, and then we moved it to a larger city. And we have been there now for just over a year. So we're working on our second year in the larger city, trying to get that store going there and getting people to know us again. Next up, we have these. This is the same white opalescent kind of glass, but this time with a copper inset on the melons. Check glass beads. You get the whole strand, $6 before the 20% discount, and that's WXP2. WXP2. And remember, these prices do not include the 20% discount that we will add to your invoice, or subtract, I guess, from your invoice. All right. Oh, you just got the cream cheese corn and the recipe came in. Thank you so much, Diane. We were talking about that the other day. We are food motivated here at Allegory Gallery. We love good food. All right, next up. How much are these? These are $10 a strand. We've got 2 strands of these available. WXP3. We've got the Sailor anchors in Czech glass. This is all glass imported from the Czech Republic. Some of it we import, some of it is imported by our friends. We are not importing at the moment because of the terrible tariffs that are going on. So we are not doing the importing because no matter what you're told, they affect us. They affect us, and they would affect our customers because we would have to, push those prices and those increases on, and we don't want to have to do that. So we're trying to work with what we've got so we can keep our prices low and hopefully ride this wave. This is about 12.5 millimeters by 15.5 millimeters. WXP3, 2 of those available. If you're out there and haven't said hi, please say hi. Let us know you're watching. We love to hear from you. Don't be afraid. We're a very friendly bunch of people. What's next? Let's see. Andrew says, we talked about making an AG Bead Fam cookbook. Yes, we have. We've talked about it. It may happen someday. You never know, right? I think it'd be fun to make a cookbook. So this is a strand of Czech glass, just yellow, but it's in a yellow that you don't often see. I feel like in Czech glass, this kind of bright yellow. This is a faceted rondelle, approximately 7 millimeter. Faceted rondelle, fire polished Czech glass. 1 strand of these available, and that is it. That's all we've got. Kimberly says, oh, I am in on a cookbook. Nice. Nice. WXP5. Let's see, what else have we got? These are fun. I've got 5 of these available. These are $4 each. Boy, that's a good price for these strands. Diane says, yes, on a cookbook, right? WXP5, $4. These are an AB finish check glass. AB standing for Aurora Borealis. This means it's got the rainbow. It's got all the colors. Beautiful colors. These are approximately 5.5 to 6 millimeter faceted with rounds and check glass. $4 originally. You will get 20% off that price. WXP5. 5 of them available. 4 of them now available. First sale tonight. Thank you so much. 4 of them now available. Oh, we just sold XP4 as well. Thank you so much. Let me take that one off the table because that we only had one of, and it is now gone. It always takes us a little while to get started, right? Gotta get everybody's engine revving before we get those sales going. Very rarely do the sales start right away. I always find that interesting how that happens. WXP6. I love this strand. There's only one of these left. These are pretty old. These are a 1000 number, so that's from our early days. And it's this red. I think we've had this in blue and gold before. This is kind of a red and white or silver color on these, and they're only $4.50 for that strand. Those are old prices. Those are prices probably from around 2012, 2013, somewhere in there. So like 10-year-old prices, 11-year-old prices. These are 12 millimeters by about 10.5 millimeters. $4.50. One strand available, WXP6. I don't know, is that a Greek key? I don't know what kind of design that is. I don't think it's a Greek key design. I wouldn't call it that, I don't think. But I don't know what. It's fun though, and it's in that really pretty kind of orangey red color, like an orange red. And let's see here. Let's see this one. $3.50 to start out as. How do we make money, y'all? How do we make money? We've sold one of the WXP ones, so the white and black. We have only one of those now left. Thank you so much. This is a check glass strand. It's kind of a mixed strand of Lucerna bicones. Mixed strand of Lucerna bicones. We just sold another XP5, WXP5. Thank you so much. These are the Lucerna bicones, mixed strand in green, a mix of greens, and it was $3.50. That is now it's still $3.50, but it's 20% off, and there's only one. We've just sold one of the WXP2s, so we're down to 2 of those. Thank you, thank you. Andrew says we don't, LOL. We don't make money off of these. I know, sometimes we're probably not still making money off of that. We've probably lost money on that strand over the years. The amount of storage space it's taken, the amount of times we've moved it from store to store. But there you go. Andrew says kind of like kind of Art Nouveau swirl meets deco, right? It's kind of cool. Kind of like it. No one else does though, because it's still here. I can't believe it. I thought that was going to go first thing. Thought that was going to go right away. You never know. WXP8. Let's do the Hamsas. These little Hamsa beads. $10. I've got 2 strands of these. Let me move these down. Make some room before I start clearing some of them away. Make room for one more here. WXP8 are these Hamsas in the pink with the AB finish. $10 originally. You're getting 20% off, so that brings them down. Look, $8. I can do that mental math. $8. $8 after the discount on those. That is 20 millimeters by about 13 and a half. 2 strands of those available only. Once they're gone, I don't know if we'll ever see those again. I don't know. We just sold 7. Thank you so much. 7 has been sold. All right, that means I have room for one more. WXP9. I've only got one of these ones at $8. These are the Hampses again, but this time instead of the pink, they're in this color. What color would you call that, everybody? Yellow? What color is that? Ochre? Ochre? That's a color, right? Not okra. Ochre? Mustard? Okay, mustard. We're going food. That sounds good, Kimberly. I could see that being mustard for sure. We got some mustard and some ketchup here. Suzanne says mustard too. All right, I'll go with that. All right. Did not mean to call it in all caps. That's all right. That's all right. You can shout mustard at me. I like mustard. Mustard's good. Andrew called it mustard too. Sorry about yelling unintentionally. Jack says maybe a pewter yellow, right? It's a good color. It's an odd color for beads. I will say that, right? Sometimes you might need that color though. You never know. You never know. Okay, let's see. Let's put these away. I'm going to put one away. There's still one of these available if anybody wants to grab it. One of those still available. Let's, oops. Let me put them, what am I doing? Let me put the other ones with that so I at least have them all together. It's like I forgot how to be. I forgot what to do. That extra day off made me forget how to do a live, everybody. Brooke's here. Hello, Brooke. Good to see you here tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're doing our extra 20% off sale today. You can also save 25% in the online store at allegorygallery.com by using discount code Italy. Yeah, you can do that too. 25% off online, 20% here from these in-store items that we're showing you today. I'm going to put this one away. We still have 2 of these available, I believe. So if you would like, this is with the bronzy inset with that white kind of opalescent in the melon, the check glass melons. All right, let's see. WXP, okay. I've made, well, let's put one more away. Put one more away. I'm going to put the anchors away. Anchors away, my friends. Anchors away. And that's going to, I have these all on hooks, so I'm taking them off the hook because the hook doesn't fit in the bag. See, all on hooks. But then they'll have to go back on hooks if people don't buy them. So hopefully y'all buy them. Buy them all, everybody, so I don't have to put them back on hooks. Okay, let's move this down. Move this one down. Move this one down. Move this one down. Okay. WXP10. We have $8. Boy, that's cheap. I think this is very cheap for these. These are the bees, everybody. Who doesn't love the bees? These are the turquoise color bees with the gold inset. And you get a lot of bees on there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. About 15 bees per strand. $8 per strand only. These are little coins, about 14 millimeter coins. And that's WXP10, $8 before your 20% off. All right, we just sold another one of the WXP5s. Thank you so much. So that's a total of 3 of those sold. We only have 2 of those left. That's a good deal on those. $4. Really, what, $3.20? Did I do that mental math right? $3.20 after your discount. Kimberly says, that is a bug bead I have not seen before. I do think we imported these. Andrew can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we imported these bees. I think other people have had them since we've done that, but I think we were one of the first originally to import these. We had them in multiple colors and multiple finishes, but we just have those left. WXP11. So that is a really good price at $8, less 20%. So less $1.60, $6.30. Is that right? $6.30. Boy, the mental math today, making me do the mental maths. Okay, here are some vintage check glass. Let's do some vintage stuff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 strands of this. It really says, I love them. Aren't they cool? So far, they're still available though. So far, still available. Let me, I haven't checked my junk mail all weekend, so I'm going to dive into my junk mail here just to make sure nobody's going to junk. I should go back to Friday too to make sure I didn't miss out on anybody. Looks like we're okay. Good. Nobody's going to junk. All right. Oh, there we sold one of the 10s. Thank you so much. All right. Ooh, you can tell these are old too. Not only are these vintage, but they're a 1000 number from our shop. So we've had these. I think these were vintage from the 90s, or maybe they were vintage in the 90s already. But these are amazing, I think. The tags are so old, it just fell off. But they're these beautiful twisted tube beads. And they're in this kind of root beer color. I'm going to call it the root beer barrel color. A beautiful vintage check glass. These are approximately just about 8 millimeters by 25. Now they're tapered, so that's at the widest points. And that's WXP11. I've got 4 of those available. 20% off tonight. Let me start putting some of these away. We still have, I think, 2 of the WXP5. So if you're looking for this one, we've got 2 of them left. $4 before the 20% discount. We'll get these in here. Let's see. Kimberly says, did my B claim come through? I actually sent Softflex first. They're going to be like, who? What are you doing? Yes, it did, Kimberly. Thank you. You got some of the bees. That's another thing. We will do our best to never shout out what people have gotten unless you ask us. So if you want to know if you got something, we'll let you know. You can ask us in the comments and we'll tell you. Otherwise, it's nobody's business what you're claiming or not claiming, and we don't tell you unless we have a slip of the tongue. But that happens once in a while, but we try not to too often, right? We always try to, your business is your business, what you're buying. We don't shout it out to the world. That's another reason we like the email claiming. Some people do the comment sold and they claim in the comments and all that, but then everybody can see what you're buying, right? Everybody knows what you're buying. And some people don't like that. So the email system works really well for us, and we think it works really well for other people too. Okay, I've got 4 of these available. These are vintage check glass as well. 4 of them available, $6 a strand. These are a beautiful yellow with a slight, they have a kind of AB or metallic finish. You can kind of see, I don't think it's really, I'm not going to say it's an AB, but they do have it feels like a finish. Like almost that they get a little bit orange or red metallic on them. They're just a cool twisted vintage bead. Again, one of our 1,000 numbers. So these are old. These are almost as old as our store is. And then they were vintage before that. Kim says, look at that banana yellow. I know, right? Yellow, one of those colors you don't, like I said, you don't see this bright kind of yellow very often in beads anymore anyway. Apparently vintage used to have it. Okay, WXP 13. These are vintage as well. I do love the vintage beads. We love the vintage beads here at Allegory Gallery. And these are vintage red tubes. They're not large hole tubes, but they're tubular shaped. Sometimes when I say tubes, I feel like the holes need to be larger, but these are tube shaped. They're just, you know, regular holes though. These are 6.5 millimeters by 20, and I've got 3 of those available only at $6 each. We've sold 111 and 112. Thank you so much. Sold 1 each of those. WXP 14 coming up. I've only got 1 of these. Another old strand. This is $7. Just the one. WXP 14. $7. We just sold 1 of the 13s. Thank you so much. This is a blue rondelle with a silver core. This is an old one again, almost as old as our store. $7. That means that's an old price. Fire polished rondelle at about 8.5 millimeters. Blue with the silver core. Faceted rondelle. 1 available. WXP 14. All right, I'm going to put 8 away. That's the hamsas with the pink, in the pink. Put those away. We've just sold 14. Thank you so much. That one has sold out. And I'm going to put the other hamsa away. The mustard hamsas. Only 1 of those. Okay. And let's see here. Let me see if I can find some more bags. I better be able to find some more bags. I've got lots to get through yet tonight. WXP 10. I'm going to put the B's away. Really good price. These B's should probably be like a $12 to $14 strand at least right now. And they're only 8, less 20%. So I'm just saying. Just saying. You probably want to grab those if you don't have these yet. All right. WXP 11, WXP 12. As you can see, if you're new to us, we are not the hard selling type. We just show you the stuff, and if you like it, you like it. We're not going to push too hard. We're not like that. We're not like that in person either. I will tempt you. It's my job. I feel like it's my job to tempt you, and it's my job to give you various ways of being tempted, but we never try to push things on people. Okay. WXP 15. What else do I have? This is a fun strand. Danette says, thank you, whomever got 14. It was so tempting. 14 just tried to sell again. Sorry, that one has sold out. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you are also watching at the present moment, because you can rewind on YouTube. We stream on YouTube and Facebook, but you can definitely rewind on YouTube, and you could be watching in the past. So do be sure, this is a reminder, to check your timeline and make sure you are scrubbed up to the current time. WXP 15 are these beautiful check glass beads. Check out those greeny greens. Aren't those fabulous? 5.5 millimeters approximately. That's an old 2000 number, so that's not as old as the 1000s, but these are a pretty old strand, and that's an old price, $5.50. One strand only available. WXP 15. Kimberly says, if it was me, glad to have been of service. That's funny. We have fun together. These are a cool design. I don't know if these are vintage or not. They're not marked vintage, but I feel like they are. WXP 16 are these. They're kind of like a slightly rounded cube. They're not quite a cube because they're not, all four sides are not the same, but they're a really cool strand. Kimberly says, we absolutely have fun, right? Gotta have fun. These are about 5.5 millimeters by, let me see if I can get in here, by 4. We've just sold 15. Thank you so much. Kimberly says those are different, right? They are a different, I have not seen these before, and I've only ever seen them in this color that we've had. 15 is sold, so let me put that one away. Thank you so much for grabbing that. I need to change out my garbage can. I'm getting overly full over here. Okay, 15 is sold out. Thank you, thank you. Move this down. 16. WXP 17. These are very similar. They're the same shape as the 15s, but in a different color. And again, $5.50. That's an old, look at that old tag, just barely hanging on there. It's a little embarrassing, but if I spent time redoing all the tags in our store all the time, I never get anything else done. But these are a beautiful blue glass with that kind of coppery metallic on it. One strand available. And these are the fire polished at about 5.5 millimeters, WXP 17. We've just sold 16. Thank you so much. Let me take that off the table. Oh, it just turned 9 o'clock. I can tell my screen went dark. Let me change this real quick. There we go. And 16 is sold. Thank you, thank you. Move 17 down. WXP 18. All right. This was $10. I've only got one of these. WXP 18. These are these daggers in this orange and silver dagger. The laser etch. Let me bring this up here so we can get a little bit more light on this situation. One strand available, laser etched daggers, check glass. Really cool design on those. Those are kind of like a feather design. And one strand only available. And you would get 10%, or I'm sorry, 20% off of that tonight. It's a great time to grab things from our physical store when we have discounts on them like this, because we generally do not give discounts on things in the physical store. We very rarely have sales in the physical store because we don't have the margins for that. We try and keep everything low price as much as we can. But every once in a while, we throw things on the live, and because you are our live family and you support us so much, we give you extra discounts. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being a part of this family. 17 has just sold. Thank you so much. All right, WXP 19. These are going to be some laser etched ones here for the next few. So for those of you who like these, the laser etched daggers, you're in for some treats. This is kind of like a brick wall design. I love, love, love this one. Beautiful colors in this. It's like a graffitied brick wall, I feel like. It's just so cool. And that's WXP 19. Oh, and should be marking these. There's only one of each of these. Only one left of each. This is the next one. $10 on that. This is kind of a silvery yellow, kind of leafy design in the dagger shape. And that's WXP 20. We've just sold 19, so I'm going to put that one away. Thank you so much. Let's move this one down. For those of you who are grabbing some of the yellow stuff, I think this would go super well with some of these vintage yellow beads. I know some people have gotten the 12s. Look how cool those could go together. For example, WXP 21. And yellow is not always a color you see everywhere. Here's another yellow one. Sometimes yellow I feel like is hard to find in beads. I don't know why. But here's another beautiful yellow, kind of like a fern or a feather design, again in the daggers. Laser etched. This kind of has an AB. You can see the kind of pink and blue colors coming through as well on that. Super nice designs on those. WXP21. I'm going to put 11 away just to make room here. And I'm going to put 12 away as well to make some room. Move 13 down. 18, 20, 21. WXP22. Who doesn't love red? I love red. One of my favorite colors. Red and green. Check those juicy beads. That's that in that feather design, like a peacock feather design. Peacock feather? Yeah, that's a peacock feather, right? Yeah. $8 only on these. They don't have any of the kind of more funky finishes on them, so they're a little bit less expensive than some of the ones with the metallics and other finishes. But these are laser etched. $8 for the red feather daggers. And the last of these laser etched ones that we've got, WXP23, are these fun ones with the little, they're like little suns, little swirly suns with the rays. It's WXP23. Really fun, bright, festive beads. And we've just sold 22. Thank you so much. Let me take that off the board here. Karen says, are any of these 2-hole daggers? No. They're all, let me make sure. No, they're all single hole. Just the one at the top. Oh, we just sold 23 as well. Thank you so much. Danette says, well, good night all. Started new shift at work, 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Means I have to get up at 6 a.m. Oh, no. Well, good luck with that, Danette. I'm sorry to hear about that because I am not a morning person. That would be very difficult. But hopefully you're doing okay, and we appreciate you being here so far tonight. Please remember tomorrow's live will be at 3 p.m. I think, because it's my pottery night. It all depends on how our car repair goes tomorrow, but I'm probably going to do the live around 3 tomorrow, unless maybe Andrew's filling up to doing it later in the evening while I'm at my pottery. We'll see. But it might be, that's why we haven't pre-scheduled it yet for y'all, because we're not exactly sure what may be happening. But we may have an afternoon live tomorrow. Kimberly says, I sometimes make dragonflies but need 2-hole daggers. Yeah, these are definitely not 2, unfortunately. Vicky says, that sounds cool, Kimberly. Michelle's going good night too. Says, need the rest. Very tired. Well, get your rest, Michelle. Get your rest. I slept a little bit in today, so I'm feeling okay. What number am I on here? 24. 24? 24. Okay. What should we look at next? How about the Buddhas? We started looking at some of these Buddha heads, but we kind of rushed through some of them the other night because we were getting late, but then we wanted to keep going. So let's take our time and let's take a look at these. WXP. If you like these Buddhas, you may have missed some the other night that are still available, so check out Friday's live. These are the Buddha head beads. These have the black kind of finish on them. And this is WXP24. These are $9 a strand, 2 strands available. And this is a new month that started for me, so I'll be up late. Yeah. And if you like the mustard color, we've got Buddha heads in mustard color. These must have all came around the same time. The Hamsas, the Buddha heads, when this mustard color was more in. I guess not more in. It can be in any time, right? But when it was kind of a thing, apparently they did multiple beads in these. So these are a polished mustard color, whereas the Hamsas, yeah, these all came in, these are all 3,000 numbers. The Hamsas were, you can see the difference, the matte versus the polished glass. But pretty cool. Still have the Hamsas, that was WXP9. If you're looking to pair some Buddhas with some Hamsas, WXP9s and WXP25s. Sorry, I forgot to put some beads in with other beads, and I don't want to forget, because then everything will get mixed up. So let me just do that real quick here before we move on. Get myself organized a little bit. I just realized that. Okay, there we go. WXP26. These are $8, 2 of them. The last of the Buddha heads, the Buddha head beads. Andrew says, sometimes you can tell what factory made what by the color they are. A lot of times they're mixing in small batches, and you can tell what they ran through the molds. Makes sense, right? WXP26 are these Buddha head, kind of a butterscotchy color, but they've got an AB finish on them. So you've got the beautiful colors coming through. Really pretty, almost like sunset-like colors. Hopefully you're seeing them. They're really more vibrant, I feel like, in person than what I'm seeing on the camera. But they're a really pretty color. Andrew says, sometimes they don't always clean out the pots, and you get residue from the last batch. I like when that happens. You get a little bit of extra. A little bit of extra you didn't expect you were going to get. Somebody's trying to get into my office. Who is it? Which kid of ours is trying to get in? Which little fur baby wants to say hello? Hey, stop tearing up the carpet. Let's see, Andrew says they also used to have what are called end of the day beads because they just throw all the scraps from the day. They're not as common anymore since people like more standardized colors. I wish they still did that. I would like to have end of the day beads. Who doesn't want those? Gertie is downstairs. I think it might be Barnaby. It sounds like Barnaby. His Barnaby has a more soft scratching usually. He doesn't scratch too aggressively. He doesn't usually tear at the carpet as much though, so I don't know who it is I've got trying to come in here. These are cool, and I've only got one strand of these left. These aren't one that I've seen a lot. It was Gilbert. Gilbert, he does like to come in. He likes to be in this. This used to be his room before it became the closed off office. This is where Gilbert came in to watch. Barnaby is rolling around up there. It's pretty cute. So these are these little fossil, what are those called? Trilobites? Trilobite fossils in the coins with the Picasso edge, table cut, and a gold finish. It's like, that's why the price is $12 for the strand, because they did the Picasso edge, they did the table cutting, and they did the gold finish. So that's a lot of steps, a lot of work in each one. Suzanne says trilobites. That's what I thought, right? 17 millimeter coins. So 17 millimeters by about 4. And so these ones are table cut. Yes, they are. They got lots of intense work in those. Only one strand of those left. Those are really popular for us. And we've only got the one left. And you can get it at 20% off. WXP 27. $12 to begin with, 20% off that price. Opalescent glass too, Andrew said, right? I didn't even mention that. You've got that opalescent white. Beautiful glass. So there you go. Lots of work in that one. Lots of good things. WXP 28. Let me clear some things off the deck here. Oh, and 27 has just sold. Thank you so much. It is now gone, gone, gone. Hey, there's my mom. So I'm tuning in a bit late. She probably just got home from helping us out. We were talking about how you and Dad were over helping us with the car, trying to get us up and running again. Kimberly says, I don't have that in my stash. Yeah, you're going to have to add it, right? We just sold one of the 26s as well. Thank you so much. We still have one of those available. All right, let's move these down, move that down, move that down, that down. Put this in a bag because that one is sold. Hey, Andrew says, thank you for all your help, White Mama. Let's see here. Did a Walmart run for supplies for tomorrow. She said, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Taking good care of us. All right. Next up, we have WXP 28. These are only $6 a strand. I've got 4 of them available. Andrew says, I hope you liked your gifts. They're not much, but we hope you like them. Yeah. Have you seen these before, everybody? I don't know if these are vintage or not. Is that Gilbert? Gilbert! But these are a really pretty color. They've got pink glass with the kind of beige glass, but they're faceted on the one end. They're these beautiful drops. And you really get some of that really pretty pink color where the facets happen. Super pretty. Gilbert, he's talking to me now. Cute boy. Aren't these pretty? Really nice. Very unusual strands of check glass. Only $6 each. They come in at about 5.5 by 8 millimeters. 5.5 by 8. $6 a strand. 4 strands available. Andrew says the pink has the gold. Yeah, when they make pink, they have to add gold, and so for $6, that's a really good price for those. Very unusual strands. We've sold one of them so far. Thank you so much. There are 3 of them still available. WXP29. Ooh, these are nice. These are pricey, but they are nice. And they are obviously nice because we've only got one left. We got a bunch of these at one point. Gilbert, stop tearing up the carpet. Our poor carpet. Our poor carpet in front of every door. WXP29. My mom says, love them. Thank you so much. I'm wearing one of the colognes and love how it mellowed into a nice fragrance. I'm excited about trying the other goodies. All right, so this is WXP29. These are these coins. Beautiful, table cut, polished. They have the Picasso edging. We just sold another one of the 28s. Thank you so much. These are just kind of a coin slab. There's a lot of them here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. These are about 18.2 millimeters by 4.2, so about 18 by 4. We'll round down. Beautiful coins. We sold a lot of these. We've only got the one strand left. $20 on that. Andrew says, not every pink has gold in it. The ones that look more red like cranberry glass usually has gold. All right. Let me find more bags to put more of these away. Putting 21 away. I'm going to put 24 away. Last look at those. I think these are so nice. I like these ones a lot. These are probably one of my favorite of the Buddha heads, and nobody's bought any of them. I just really like the colors in that. I like how vibrant they are with that black outlining, and they're nice neutrals. See, we don't all like the same things though, right? That's what makes things, makes the world go round, right? We don't all like the same things. And that's a good thing, right? We all like the same things. It'd be pretty bland out there. Pretty bland out there in the world. I mean, I guess we'd all have everything we liked, but there'd be a lot less stuff. A lot less opportunity to see new things and to experience new things, right? Life would probably be pretty boring if you didn't experience new things once in a while. Putting these ones away as well. Okay, let's move these down. There's still one of 26 left, I believe. Yes. We've got 2 of 28 left. We've got 29 still left so far. We'll go to 40 tonight because I still have a lot of these that I can go through with y'all. So Let's do this. These are $8 each. We've got 2 of them available. This is a shape many of you may not have seen before, too. Let me know if you've got these ones in your collection already. But there are these squares, table cut. They table cut the design into them. So the design is there, and then they table cut to expose it. And then they've got the Picasso edge. And again, they've got that kind of gold or antique gold inside the design. But I don't think I've ever seen these in any other colors or anything else. These are about 10.5 millimeters. I think these are the only ones we've ever gotten of this style. And it's got that white opalescent glass as well. Just 2 strands left, WXP30. Anybody else have anything? You have any of those? Anybody else ever see those in a different color? Andrew says, Tallulah is getting pretty big now, especially compared to Gertie. I was watching a clip from the Cardi B trial, and she was talking about how the security guard isn't fat. She's security heavy, like she can protect the building. And I think that's perfect for Tallulah because she's Gertie's bodyguard now. It's true. She's security heavy, that little girl. That little not so little girl. Let's see, this is $9. Only one of these strands available. WXP31. These are a cool bead. They were finished and then faceted to reveal the glass underneath. And so they cut all the vegetables and put them in the oven. Oh boy, thank you. I didn't realize you were doing that. I hope you didn't. I hope you sat down while you were doing that. At least, thank you for doing that. Suzanne says, Andrew, there's more to love, right? Tallulah, she's got more to love on. These are really cool. They're kind of almost a pinky pink color. And then they're faceted away. I've never seen a lot like this either. These are, again, the only color I've ever seen these in. At their widest, they're about 9 millimeters by about 20. 9 by 20. 1 strand available. Andrew says, normally I can just scoop up the cats and I had to put my back into it with Tallulah. Andrew says, yeah, I sat down. Good. I'm glad you rested while you did that. All right. We showed 1 strand of these bicones the other day, so I figured I'd continue showing some of these bicone strands because they're really not that expensive generally. Andrew said, that reminds me of fake crab. It kind of does, doesn't it? Fake crab meat. Now we're really going to sell it. Right? When you call something fake crab meat, that's a seller right there. But it's true. It is true. Oops. I've got 4 of these. They're only $5 a strand. These are really cool. So these are these bicones, but look at this kind of copper coating they've got on them. It's like a copper Picasso. Holly says, or antler tips. That could be too, right? Hello, Holly, by the way. Thanks for joining in. So this is like a copper metallic. It's kind of almost like that mercury glass finish or a Picasso, but in copper. My mom says Lydia used those in a bracelet she made. This one, yeah, I think they use them like ice cream cones, right? To look like kind of like ice cream cones. I forgot about that. Andrew says maybe someone is making sushi earrings and looking for fake crab meat beads, right? There you go. We've got them. We've got them for you. So this is 32. These are really cool. I love these. These are about 7.5 millimeter by 10. And they've kind of got an opalescent glass behind them, but they've got a coppery color to them. So really cool. Let me try and put the tags down so they don't get in the way. We've just sold 31. Thank you so much. And we've sold one of the 32s. Boy, I'm going to call things imitation crab meat more often. Or maybe it was the ice cream cone part that sold it. That one is sold. Thank you, thank you. We've just sold another one of the 32s. Thank you. We've got 2 of those left. And if you remember the last bicones we had like this, I think they were $10 because of the finish on them. So this is half price on those ones. I'm going to show you some more of these bicones, so hopefully you like them. We might be ending the show on bicones tonight. But if you know me, you know these are going to be one of my favorites because I've got green coming up. You know I love green. Got the bright green. It's kind of a yellow green, a limey green. Just sold another one of the 32s. Thank you so much. We have 1 of those left. This is the bicone, same size, but in this limey green color. I guess it looks, sometimes it looks lemony yellow. Sometimes it looks limey green. It definitely has a green tint to it. But I don't know if you can see, I wish, but the glass on these is really cool. It's almost like there's some light that comes through the glass. It's not completely opaque. It's just a really cool, I don't know. It's a cool design. It's a cool glass color and a glass material. So there are 2 of those. Suzanne says, that's a pretty green strand. I have one. Yeah, they're really nice. Thank you for saying that. They are really nice. We've sold all of the 32s. Thank you so much. Those have sold out. Put those away. And remember, you're going to get 20% off of all of these prices when I send out the invoices. So these prices are the base price. You'll get 20% off of that price. WXP34. Okay, let me make sure these are the same. They are. These are $9 each, and I've got 4 of them. These are super pretty. Just saying. Super pretty. And I like these with the green, actually, because I love purple and green together. But these are a purple glass with a silver kind of mercury glass finish. I don't know what it's actually called, but we call it a mercury glass finish. If you know, like old mercury glass mirrors, you know how you get that kind of, it rubs off over time and gets, when it gets older. That's what we kind of think of these like. It's like a mercury glass finish. And these are $9 a strand. Really pretty purple. I think they look really cool with the green. Sandra says those purple ones are pretty. I know, right? Super pretty. Nice, beautiful, transparent glass. Shows off that silver finish really nicely. 4 strands of those available, $9 each. We've sold 1 of them so far. Thank you so much. We've sold 1 of the 33s as well so far. So we've only got 1 of those available. We've got 3 of these still available. We've just sold another 34. Thank you so much. We're down to only 2 of those left. I'm going to put these away. We've got 1 strand of these Buddha heads with that kind of sunset metallic finish left on those. That was 26. And I'm going to put these ones away as well just to clear off some room here. These are the ones with the beautiful kind of pink faceted ends on them. Really great. I think these are great for fall when you're looking at sunsets and the browns and the pinks starting to come out. Great fall bead. That's 28, only $6 a strand on those. And I'm going to move these down. Just sold another one of the 34s, so we've only got one of these purples left. If you've been waiting and you're like, oh, I'm going to wait and see if they're going to sell, they're selling, everybody. They're selling. So only one of these left. If you want to get it, get in there now. WXP 34. Andrew says, I had a photography teacher who used to do that silver nitrate glass printing, and he was like, you don't have to use gloves. You can feel the finish better if you don't. And his fingernails were all black and his gums were turning gray. Needless to say, we all use gloves. Oh boy. Yeah, it's probably best to wear gloves when you're, not when you're handling it, but when you're doing the actual work of it, right? All right, if you think those are pretty, here's some more pretty ones. $7 a strand, only 2 of these available. I love, 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 love this color. This beautiful kind of, it's a blue glass with a purple finish. So let me show you. There we go. Blue glass with, instead of the silver mercury glass of the other ones, it's a purple finish over top of the blue. It's a really pretty bead, and it does blend really well, I think, with these. If you were going to use these together, because the blue has kind of that silvery look, which blends in with the silver finish here, and the purple blends in really well with the purple finish on those as well. So if you were going to combine things, those would be a pretty combination to put together, I think. So that's WXP 35. We've sold one of the 2 of those so far. We've only got one left. And let's see here. Gotta get the light here to tell me which ones of these go together. All right, these ones are only $5. We're like $5, and then we're giving you 20% off. It's wild. We just sold the other 35. Thank you so much. Those are sold out. We have 36 now. These are a really pretty teal kind of glass, a teal transparent matte glass with a gold finish. Really pretty. $5 a strand. I don't know how those are priced at $5 a strand. Andrew says, apparently the recipes for these finishes are secret and they won't let you take pictures in the factory. I believe that. It's trade secrets, right? Trade secrets. Look how pretty these are. A matte glass in this teal color with the gold finish. We've sold one of 36 so far. We've got 2 available still. I'm going to pull away 35 because 35 has completely sold out. Thank you, thank you. We still have one of the 34s available, the purples. We have 2 of the 36s still available. Thank you. Those of you who've grabbed those. WXP37. This is $7. I've only got one. WXP37, $7. I've only got one of these available. Check that out. This one's different in that it has the multiple finishes, and it's just colored in the insets in that kind of turquoise color. Really pretty. This was a really popular one. Obviously, there's only one left. We originally got 4 or 5, at least I think, of all of these. Sometimes more, I think, in the case of some of these colors, some of these finishes. This one was popular. $7. WXP37. Only one of those left. Goes good with all of your turquoises. Also would go really well if you put them, I think, with those. Nice combo if you wanted to do a bracelet or, bring multiple colors in. WXP37, $7. WXP38. $7 each. 4 of these ones available. Let me put away 29. Make some room on here. That's the table cut coins. 1 strand of those available. $20. Before your discount, that would bring it down to $16 only. $16. That's a nice strand for $16. Okay, WXP38. There are 4 of these available. And these are green glass with the Picasso finish in the brown. And I don't know if you can tell, there's also a slight kind of silvery metallic finish on those. Really, really pretty beads. Kind of almost like a camo color, right? And it's kind of a cool thing to be camo color, especially if you're making stuff for guys and you want to do something with a kind of camo design. And that would go really well for that. 4 strands of those, $7 a strand. WXP 38. WXP 39. $6 a strand. This is the last of the bicones. Got 3 of these available. And these are these beautiful kind of beige color beads, caramel color beads with the silver. It's actually a silver kind of metallic. But the glass has the multiple colors of brown, we've sold 2 of the 38 so far. We've got 2 of those left. We've just sold 1 of the 39 so far. These are really pretty. $6 a strand. Last of these bicones that we're going to look at. And let me find a bag for one of these. And let's put these ones away. I've still got one of these green ones left. If anybody's interested in those. It's the 33. And let's do the last one of the evening. And I just ran out of paper. What? Aha. Found a WXP 40. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Good price, only $4 a strand. That's a really good price. Of these dimpled rondelles, check glass, in this beautiful purple color. Dimpled rondelles. Really unusual. Nice long strands there. For $4 a strand. WXP. They've also got, you can see they've got an AB finish. Or at least like a blue metallic finish. WXP 40. 4 strands available. $4 a strand. And that, our friends, is it for tonight. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We really, really do appreciate it. Thank you all that were able to grab something tonight. That really helps us. Helps keep the bills paid, helps keep the business going. Hopefully we can stash a little away to help fund our trip to Italy that we're trying to make happen, and help us get through the few weeks we're going to be away. That's what the goal is. So we appreciate everything. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send us an email. We appreciate it so much. Yeah. If you are new, please make sure that if you've sent us an email that you send us your shipping address. We will need your shipping address. And trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it, y'all. I'm going to work through the spreadsheet here in just a few moments and get you out the invoices here in the next probably 30 minutes or so. And I smell food, so Andrew's been cooking. Thank you, Andrew, for working on that while I'm doing the live. And I can't wait to have our roasted root vegetables. It's going to be so good. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Tomorrow's live may be during the afternoon. It may be during the evening. We're not sure yet. It depends on how the car repair and all that goes. So stay tuned. Sorry, I wish I could tell you more. But for now, stay tuned. All right. We're going to have fun whenever it is, though, right? Have a great one, everyone. And we will see you back here sometime tomorrow with some things tomorrow. Bye, everybody.